Buffalo Bills had 27 takeaways and 27 turnovers in 2022, ranking 15th amongst the NFL in turnover differential. How are they going to do in 2023? We got to discuss it in this video, but welcome to my channel, Bills News Consolidated. We have to discuss it here. I mean, are you kidding me right now? The Houston Texans, the Indianapolis Colts, and then the Buffalo Bills with the most turnovers in the NFL last year. That is right. Buffalo with the third most turnovers in the NFL last year. That is just completely unacceptable. But what's nice is the Buffalo Bills defense actually did fairly decent in takeaways, coming away with 27 takeaways, ranking fourth best in the NFL last year. And that's without Trey White. That's with Micah Hyde going down and Von Miller, right? And everything that unfolded on this defense last year. So what do we have to understand from these stats and from 2022? Hearing that Josh Allen needs to do a better job taking care of the football, especially in the red zone. I would say every player on this team is always trending up. And that's the theme of every single year. We have players that are always trending up with potential to get better, right? Josh Allen working on his craft, trying to not turn the ball over as much in 2023. Last year, we were ultra efficient on third down and fourth down, being one of the top most successful teams, converting teams on third and fourth down last year. So what do the Buffalo Bills ultimately need to do? We need to take care of the football. No more fumbles from Zach Moss or Devin Singletary. No more turnovers from those running backs. No more interceptions, less interceptions from Josh Allen. And I know the top 100 list came out and people were really upset with Jalen Hurts being ahead of Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. Jalen Hurts only threw, I believe, 6 interceptions last year, which is absolutely crazy. So taking care of the football, relying on this great defense that we have here in Buffalo, is a good recipe for success. Now, the other thing that people are really missing about this team is the fact that we have some additional players on this team that Josh Allen could really trust. Gabe Davis being 110% himself in 2023. The addition of Dalton Kincaid, who's been tearing it up in training camp all the way. And now I guess things have been really opened up for Dawson Knox, hearing reports from Steve Tasker and Chris Brown stating, hey, look, the defense is starting to eye up Dalton Kincaid because of how successful he's been in training camp. But now it's really opening things up for Dawson Knox. And that's exactly what we want to see unfold during the season for the Buffalo Bills. You draw attention to one player, it's going to open up things for Dawson Knox, for Gabe Davis, for Stephon Diggs, Deontay Hardy. And I really believe the Bills could definitely improve upon their turnover differential for 2023. That is just going to make things a lot easier. Our defense can even have more takeaways than last year, giving Josh Allen more opportunities to run up the score and score points. And if Josh Allen is more efficient, not turning the ball over, I think that is ultimately just going to be a more successful team. And again, looking at this offensive line, the Bills have definitely stacked up this offensive line. Spencer Brown was another injury last year. We have to really see how Spencer Brown does this upcoming year, but we have Brandon Shell in the background. David Questenberry played very well in that position last year too, so he could fill into that role, right? And then at right guard, we have a tough, top-notch competition between Ryan Bates, Osiris Torrance, and I think that's just going to bring out the best at that right guard position. Connor McGovern, the highest free agent signing for the Buffalo Bills, plugged in at left guard. I think this offensive line is definitely a lot better. And then the additions of Damian Harris, Latavius Murray, James Cook in year 2. As I mentioned, every player on this team seems to be trending up. And why I believe, we could be a lot more efficient, not a lot of turnovers for 2023 on offense here. And then you look at the defensive side of the football, right? How much better did we get here with Leonard Floyd potentially strip sacking quarterbacks and getting fumbles. We have now a middle linebacker who's better in pass coverage than Tremaine Edmonds. We just have to see how whoever that player is going to be, Tyrell Dotson or Terrell Bernard, we have to see if they're going to be better than Tremaine Edmonds against a run. But I know for a fact, as a matchup linebacker in pass coverage, Terrell Bernard and Tyrell Dotson, to me, is better than Tremaine Edmonds in pass coverage. So what does that mean? Batted balls, deflected balls to Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Trey White, picking them off, or maybe just interceptions of their own, forced fumbles, right? Just creating havoc and more impact and more game-changing plays on defense to ultimately give this offense more opportunities to score points. You know, when you look at Greg Rousseau, who is getting so much hype from people saying, like, he's eventually going to be a top 5 defensive end in this league. And you hear Von Miller coming back. It seems like he's going to be coming back fairly early. Poona Ford with his high motor tearing things up on this defensive line. It's just unbelievable to see that three-way battle between Dane Jackson, Kaiir Elam, Christian Benford. Three-headed monster fighting for that spot. I mean, whoever gets that spot is going to deserve it, and they are going to be freaking ready for it for 2023. I cannot wait for this upcoming season. But I think a lot of the national media is missing the fact of just the simple turnover differential. And also the fact of all the additions that we have here. You know, everything that happened last year, you know, from Kim Pagula, from John Murphy, and they've come to training camp. Like, we finally are turning the page. DeMar Hamlin, like, we're turning the page. All the injuries, like, we're turning the page. Like, we're healthy now. We could finally flush 2022 down that freaking toilet and turn the page to 2023. And we have some new additions here. I know Leslie Frazier's not here, but Sean McDermott getting in the details of this defense, hearing all the players on this team saying, like, how much more detailed it is, and then making a move this offseason for a new wide receiver coach in Adam Henry versus Chad Hall. And then you listen to interviews of Adam Henry and what he stands for. It's the details. It's the nicks and the knacks of the game. And you see even Sam Martin in his interview yesterday saying, like, he's improving after his first year in Buffalo last year, getting here extremely late. Now he knows what to expect in this Buffalo weather. He said every punt is completely different. Like, you have to know and study and get ready for each and every single punt. And that's what I'm saying. Every single player on this team seems to be trending up or has the potential to do a lot better, as long as they worked hard. And that comes down to DNA and drafting the right players, the right character, which I know that we're doing. And then it also comes with experience, living in Buffalo for a full season, having an off season here in Buffalo, knowing exactly what you're stepping into for 2023. I don't think you could name a player that's really taken a step back for Bills Mafia. Everyone is fighting for a spot, and a lot of the players that aren't going to make this team are probably going to end up potential starters on other teams. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit like, subscribe. Go Bills.